One of the things that I always ask people is to discover themselves or help is, what is one thing that you would do for the rest of your life every single day, even if you didn't get paid for it?
Okay.
So asking them that question allows you to see not only, or also writing down things that you're naturally gifted in and going from there.
Yo, you are not prescribed with the realest, where we say the things your friends won't say and your man gonna lie about. It's your boy, Dewey Rice. I'm back at y'all with another episode, y'all. This is episode 8.0. I'm sitting here with two of my peoples, all right? I'm sitting here with Tanee. Go ahead and say hi. I'm gonna introduce y'all in a minute. Just go ahead and say hi.
Okay, what's up, y'all?
And I'm sitting here with Donte.
What's good, y'all?
All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory of them. So I went to high school and middle school with Tanee. So I know Tanee since it was like back in the day when I was chubby. I had braces.
We both had braces.
I was an ugly dumpling. Ain't nobody want me. You feel me? So I go all the way back with Tanee. And then actually, shout out to Jaylani, y'all. So Jaylani put me on with Donte. I put out like a little help me slip. You feel me? A little tweet saying I wanted to find a guy who could help me with self-discovery, talk about self-discovery, but be transparent and be able to, you feel me, share their story. And you guess what? She said Donte, you feel me? So I'm sitting here with Donte and Tanee. I'm going to let y'all give them a little, I want y'all to give us a resume. We want to know who we listening to. So Donte or Tanee, who going to go first? Tell us who we listening to. Who they about to listen to for this episode. Go ahead, give them a little bit about yourself.
We listening to your girl, Tanee Monique. I wear many hats.
Okay.
But my brand is about inspiration.
Okay.
Inspiring, uplifting, and encouraging people through my testimonies and just loving them and meeting them where they are.
Yes.
And that through my testimonies that they find and feel the love of Jesus.
Yes.
I have a YouTube channel. I sing, I model. I'm an entertainer.
Okay.
By nature.
Period.
And so I love what I
All
do.
around.
Love what I do. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Tanee Monique.
Okay.
And Facebook as well. It's TaneeMonique.
Plug yourself before I plug you at the end. I love it. You feel me? Donte, go ahead.
Man, all right. Donte Wood Spikes. What's going on, y'all? And,
Yes.
Jaylani, I admire her so much. And she's one of the people that saw my process of growth.
Okay, cool.
You know, a lot of people know me as a community advocate, a person that works with children, a person that does speeches, videography, photography. But everyone truthfully know me as a person that advocates for empathy and understanding of their environment and themselves. Yeah. Because if you don't know who you are and you're trying to engage with people, save them, help them, do whatever it is you want to do, you may not be giving your true self to them, and you're not being your true self in the process of doing that. And that's dangerous. So I'm on a life journey making sure that I don't do that.
Okay, right on time. Okay, right on time. Both of y'all right on time for this episode. Wholeness. You feel me? Guidance. We are here today. All right.
About to go down.
So we about to move into the waiting room. In the waiting room, we just kind of kick it, be cool. Just a little questions for y'all. Like a little game show. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have some questions. Y'all answer them to the best of y'all's ability. Okay. So this is called, since we doing self-discovery, we're gonna learn about y'all through a couple questions. All right. So the first question is: when you are chilling by yourself, are you the type to read a novel or listen to music?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Both.
You gotta pick one though, boo.
Music.
What about you? Music. Okay.
Music, 100%.
Give me a song. One of y'all's favorite songs. Let's go.
Respond by Travis Green.
Okay.
Trust by Nas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me throw one in there. Let me think of one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Today I'm giving a little bit of, who am I giving today? I'm giving a little bit of, not Biggie today. No, I'm not gonna go with Biggie. Oh, I'm Jagged Edge today. You feel me? I'm Jagged Edge. You feel me? I'm feeling real.
So old school, 90s.
Promise. We'll let's get
love
married. You know what I'm saying? He can't love you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a better
Or
man.
we can even go to 702. Y'all know Stilo?
Yeah.
No, how I felt. You feel me? All right, so we'll go next one. All right. So when you are out at the club, are you sitting in general pop or actually standing in general pop, or are you sitting in a section?
I'm in a section, baby. I am exclusive. Everybody can't reach me.
Period. What about you, bro?
I'm not a big club person.
Okay.
But when I am, I'm sitting down.
You sitting down?
I'm
okay.
sitting down.
Okay, I like it.
Period.
I'm gonna get a section if we can get the price a little adjusted. You feel me? If
Well,
I know the bottle girl or something.
Everything's free for ladies. So if you look good, it's free. I don't go to the club no more. But in my days, I paid for nothing.
Back then.
Facts.
Back then,
You know what I'm saying? All right, next one. When you're hungry, you need a bite to eat. Are you pulling up by yourself to a restaurant, or are you calling your friends to pull up with you because you don't want to sit by yourself?
I'm good by myself.
You good by yourself?
Yeah, I'm 50-50 extrovert / introvert. I can do anything by myself, and I can do things with other people.
Got you.
Sometimes I want to be with people. Sometimes I want to be by myself.
Like
so I don't
that.
need nobody to go get some food.
I like that.
I can eat chicken by myself or with people. So I don't care, but by myself.
Period.
Like if I'm hungry, I'm eating. I ain't waiting.
You ain't waiting for nothing.
No.
huh?
No.
You pull, okay.
I ain't.
I
You
think
might not ever
when I was
eat.
younger, I used to want to pull up with other people. You didn't want to sit by yourself in a booth, but now today I can go to a bar and give me a whole platter.
When you know yourself, you don't need nobody. You came in this world alone, you're going to leave it alone.
Okay.
Period.
Right.
Okay. We love to hear it.
Right.
All right, I got two more for y'all. So when you're in the store, are you hitting the clearance rack or are you hitting the just in rack? Just in, new, exclusive. We just got it, or are you hitting the clearance rack?
I'm frugal, baby. I like deals. It's going to be nice, but I'm going to find a deal. Now, I pay full price for some stuff, but most of the time, you're going to catch me on the clearance rack.
The clearance rack?
First.
Okay.
First.
I'm going there first.
Yeah.
Too. I ain't even going to stunt with you. You feel me? What about you?
I don't think I'll leave the clearance rack alone. You know what I'm saying? So everything I got on costs about $20. So
You feel me?
I'm just
Or it's a
saying.
gift.
or a gift. Let's be clear. Maybe a gift. All right. Here's the last one, y'all. So since we about to, I'm spilling shit. Since we going into, I'm talking about self-discovery and everything. When you need a person to vent to, are you hitting up bae or are you calling a friend?
Well, first I'm talking to God.
Okay, God.
And then after that,
Yes.
I'm calling my accountability.
Oh, hold on. You said you're calling your accountability?
Accountability.
Who is that?
People, friends that, my community, people that do life with me.
Okay.
People that I can be honest, open, and transparent with and
Got
give
you.
it to me straight. Going to check me if I'm wrong.
Got you.
Leading me to the right place and not the wrong place.
Gotcha.
I'm not about
that.
to just I'm not looking for yes man, so I'm not looking for just anybody. They have to have some substance.
Substance. Okay. What about you?
That's real.
That was
That's
nice,
mature,
wasn't it?
too.
Alright.
So I don't have a bae, so I can't call her.
Me either.
But even so, kind of similar to you, I have friends and people that I know will hold me accountable regardless of what it is, give me their perspective and point of view and say like, well, have you thought about this, Donte? Or
Yeah.
do you remember when you said that and it caused this situation to happen?
Facts.
So I'm calling my friends because they're not emotionally invested in me like a person that may love me on an intimate level.
Absolutely.
And protect my ego.
Yeah.
My friend's like, no, you a dumbass, bro.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
no.
I need
That's
that.
facts.
I need that all the time.
That's facts. I don't ever be thinking about that, but like usually they are protecting your ego. Your person you with is trying to protect your ego or at least trying to hold you up. Your friends don't give a fuck about knocking you down. You know what I'm saying? If you need to be knocked down, they will knock you down.
They give it to you raw.
All right, so we are ready, y'all. Are y'all ready for the office? Because I am. So we are about to get into the office, talking about self-discovery. Here's the thing. Are you your best self for you or for them? That's kind of where we're going to umbrella it from. So are we our best selves for ourselves or other people? So this can be friends, family, a relationship. I just feel like this is an important topic to talk about because a lot of us are, I'm 26, you are
26.
26, and how are
30.
you? 30.
Right.
So we up there. We getting up
we
there,
get
right?
old.
And I feel like people our age and sometimes even us kind of lose focus of ourselves, lose focus of our journey. And I'm trying to reel it in and have this real conversation that it's okay to lose yourself. It's okay to find yourself or relearn yourself. It happens, right? We're also going to touch on the August Alsina interview when he was talking to Angela, and he kind of mentioned a couple things. So everything's just been right on time. Right on time. You came from Atlanta, right on time.
All the way, baby.
From Donte, right on time. You feel me? So this episode is about to be really amazing, y'all. So tune in and keep going. Let's go. So when we're talking about self-discovery, what do you think it means to truly find yourself? What does that mean? To truly find yourself.
Well, like he said earlier, it's to be whole. It's to really know who you are, know what you like, know what you don't like, know what, things that Like, a lot of people think that they know themselves, but if you ask them, well, what do you do or who are you? They define it by their career or I'm a mom instead of who they truly are and were created to be. So a lot of times people think they know themselves, but they don't, because they can't even be by themselves. And so to know who you are is to spend time with yourself, to learn yourself, to study yourself first. And I feel that everybody needs that single season. A lot of people think of singleness as something bad when it's really a gift, because a lot of people get into these relationships, into these marriages, and end up divorced because they never truly knew who they were first. So being whole is first, because if you don't know yourself, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else.
So being whole. Okay, so truly find yourself, you got to be whole. What about you, Donte?
And, you know, just to piggyback off what she was saying about people can't be by themselves, something I say to my friends is it's a difference in being with somebody and just having a body around.
Facts.
Just because you're lonely, you want another body near you doesn't mean that body
good.
has substance or purpose. It does not mean that. And another part that I feel helps us get into self-discovery is recognizing our blind spots.
Okay. Blind
seeing
spots.
the things that we don't want to see, the things we don't want to talk about. Nobody sees themselves as the villain. Everybody's the hero. Everybody, I give this good love, but I can't find love. You know, everybody's a narcissist, but I'm a kind person. How is it that we have all of these people that are claiming to be, you know, kind,
amazing,
loving, amazing people, but we
nobody.
all know somebody that's hurting us, somebody that's a narcissist, somebody that treats us unfair.
Yeah.
We have to recognize that we also play a role in becoming the things we despise. Okay. But we don't want to look in the mirror sometimes and recognize, like, dang, I'm capable of being everything I say I don't like.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, you can recognize who you are, and you can become much more whole, because now you can stay away from that.
Yep.
If I'm acting like I don't see this mess behind me, it's gonna show up somehow. I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna trip over it, fall over it. You have to address those things.
Yeah,
and if you don't, it's gonna show up in your life sooner or later.
I got one thing to add to that.
Break
So
it down.
Juanita Bynum said something so profound. She said, in order to be free, you got to be honest.
Yep.
Most people don't want to be honest because the truth hurts.
No, it does.
But it'll set you free.
It will set you free.
And if you're not willing to face it, like you said, it's going to keep coming up. And if everybody keeps saying the same thing, even if it's people you don't know, 9 times out of 10, you're the common denominator.
Yeah, for sure. Like 9 times out of 10, you're the problem, right?
Exactly.
But that also comes with, like you said, they don't know. It's a lack of identity. Yes. So our identity, we are trying. I feel like every day people are trying to find their identity through people, through things they like, and then you find out, like, oh, that's not really me. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to navigate that, especially when you're getting older. When you're getting older, and you know these are expectations on your back. So like being a parent, you have kids, so now you kind of have to find yourself now, because you got to find who they are through you, type stuff, right? So finding yourself and discovering who you are. What are some roadblocks? Actually, no, we're gonna go like this. How did y'all find yourself? Do you think you've truly found yourself?
I would say, for me, it was the first time I recognized that I was playing a part in some of the things that were happening to me, and I feel like I committed internal suicide because the version of myself that was alive needed to die. Because if I held on to that person, I don't know how I would have impacted people around me, or how long I would have held on to that pain and said, you know, well, this is what you did to me. Right. This is why I'm angry. This is why I'm that way, with no intentions in healing that body. Right. So I had to kill that body off and become a new body of myself, and say, like, all right, so now that I let this go, I'm much more confident and comfortable dealing with certain people and certain things, places I would never go, because I felt I put this cloak of depression and anxiety, whatever it is, on myself based off my past situations. I let that go. So now I gave myself freedom to explore different venues, different spaces, just a different insight to life. And I'm like, damn. So I've done that process multiple times. Where I just sat back and I was like, dang, that's kind of your fault, bro.
No, for sure.
Like that's
accountability with everything.
Yeah,
it's
like that's your
everything.
fault. And I, you know, back to what I was saying earlier, I know what it feels like for someone to not listen to you, to not know what you're feeling, or not dig deeper to see what you're thinking. I have to make sure that I'm not doing those things, because we find ways to justify why we did it. we can't justify why they did it.
Yeah.
I know why I did it because A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Absolutely.
whole alphabet.
Yes,
but
sir.
you ain't got no reason because
Right.
you have A, B, C, D.
Yes.
Or I did this for you. So for me, just being able to take that moment to sit back, reflect, and be honest and say like, all right, what role do you play and what's taking place in your life right now?
Okay. So do you feel like you truly found you?
For this season, because there's always more. And every time I feel like, oh, I've reached it, God's like, but there's more. Like every single time. So for this season, yes, I do believe that my fullest potential has been released.
Yeah.
But one of the things, I mean, I went through a lot of things, but one of the first things that I did was I began to, like you said, I just got tired of doing the same things. Like we do the same things and we expect a different result.
Nice.
And so I had to take a look, like you said, at myself and be like, yes, this person did this to me or they hurt me, but how did Tanee get here?
Right.
And once I did that, that's when the shift began to take place. At first, I just wanted to play victim, like you did this, you did that.
Yeah.
But making that choice, because we only control ourselves. So we can't control what anybody else does or doesn't do. We may never get the apology that we think, because we're not entitled to anything. That may never come. Sometimes it does. But choosing,
I'm still waiting on closure. Go ahead.
choosing to forgive that person, because at the end of the day, even though they may have wronged you, you're the one suffering if you're still holding on to that. And once you release and let it go, then you can begin to heal. Whether you tell them like, you did this to me, sometimes you get that opportunity and sometimes you don't, but being okay with that, because life's going to go on without you. And if you stay in that place, that's how you be bitter, hurting more people, and just making a conscious decision of that. So number one, spending time with myself. Number two, being accountable and looking in the mirror. And then number three, allowing the right community into my life so that they can look at me and say, Tanee, be honest, open, and transparent with me. Correct me when I'm wrong and help me. Because a lot of times people like, I got to do it myself. That's cool and all. Yes, you got to spend time with yourself, but we need people to survive. Iron sharpens iron. And if you don't have the right people in your ear, but the wrong ones, you might stay in a place of being complacent or like crabs in a barrel, and never reaching a certain height, because the people around you are just being your yes man or not correcting when you're wrong because they don't know themselves. And so that's been the three biggest things for me.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot of times. And like you said, people in your ear, when you don't really know who you are, and it's hard to really learn yourself. Let's just be clear, everybody. It's hard to learn yourself. We have so much going on. The world has so much
especially
going
now.
on. Especially right now, right? We have social media. We have everything telling us who we are not. Basically, right?
Straight up.
So yeah, it's everything telling us who we are not, because we haven't, like you said, spent enough time alone to know exactly who we are. So when I think about my journey, right? I went to college. I did everything quote unquote right.
Politically correct.
You feel me? Politically correct. Like I'm trying to get honor roll. I'm trying to graduate. It wasn't a struggle for me in high school. I'm trying to get out of high school because I'm the oldest of 6.
Pressure.
And I'm trying pressure, right? Hella pressure. I'm trying to do everything the right way because this is what my mom, grandma, my dad, my family has told me I need to do. So I have all this in my head, and I get to college. Pick a degree. It's fine. You get a degree. You're going to go to school. You get a degree. You get out of college. You make money. No, that was not the case, right? So I do 4 years in college. You want to graduate on time. These are all the things people are telling me. So when I say, are you your best self for you or them? At that time, I was being my best self for them. I didn't know where I was going, right? Even in college, when you're taking these classes, you still don't really know what you want to do.
Because at that age, straight out of high school, you don't even know who you are. Exactly. It takes time.
No, because at that time in high school, you've been under the umbrella of your family.
Exactly.
So you didn't have time. If you're playing sports, you don't have time to figure out who you are, right?
No.
So in high school, like I was playing basketball, so I thought that I needed to play basketball in college. It didn't happen. I lost myself. I feel like I died.
Dang.
Like I feel like
because your identity was in that.
My identity was in basketball, and now it's gone. Okay, now who am I? Now let's try it again. Okay, I've always been a creative. I've always drew, and I used to do piano. I did all this creative stuff, but when I was younger, it was like seen as soft. So I stopped doing it.
Exactly.
So now I'm all about sports. Okay, now I get to college, no more sports. What the fuck am I supposed to do, right? Now I'm trying to find myself through women. Now I'm sleeping with a lot of women to make myself feel like that guy.
Trying to fill that void.
Trying to fill the void of something that I lost a long time ago. Okay? Dude, you're not playing basketball, buddy. Let it go. Okay?
You know I used to play basketball, right? I was that dude in high school. Okay? You know that, right?
Dude, let it go. It's gone. So now I just feel like now I'm just walking and I don't know who I am. To be honest with you and everybody, both of y'all, I don't really think I'm starting to find myself until now. Until maybe 2 years ago when I found my first podcast and started finding my voice. I didn't know who I was.
And you've always been an entertainer. You've always been outgoing. Like since I met you, that's who you've been. Like it's completely different to now. But that's one of the things that I always tell you. Like, I'm so proud of you because even though we went our separate ways, when we talk or whatever, it's like we never left. But to watch you from a distance and to see who you're becoming, it's a beautiful thing because you're learning that it's cool. You know, you went to school. You may not do something with it. You may. But you don't have to go to school to make something. Nine times out of 10, it's a setup, to be honest.
Honestly,
a whole bunch of that.
Money, right?
Straight up.
And for nothing.
Exactly. For nothing. And that's the thing. It's the same thing. We're still being told, even in college, that you're going to take these classes to be this occupation or this career. This is who you are when you graduate. This is your career. And it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much more. And even in the August, I've seen an interview when he was talking to Angela, and he said there were two things he said that stuck out to me. The first thing, when he said he was weeping over his sister because at that time, a part of him died with his sister, right? Yep. So for y'all, what is a part, and I'm gonna go first. What is a part, be thinking about this, what is a part that died in your journey of finding yourself? What made you lose yourself and now you found this new person, right? So y'all both kind of spoke about how you kind of went through things and then you were like, boom, I'm kind of figuring out who I am. What was that thing? So for me, I would honestly say graduating and not having a fucking job and being without a job for 6 to 8 months and me trying to really figure out like, okay, what am I really good at? What am I about to do out in this world? Like, I'm living with my grandma. I'm in the basement. I got a fucking degree. Who am I? That was my talk. Like, so really, I'm like, bro. Who am I, bro? Like, I don't really know exactly who. I know who I'm not going to be, but I don't know who I am. Yes. So I'm going to say me graduating college and really not having a plan killed me inside. What is something that killed y'all?
It's kind of similar to yours. Yeah. I would say when I went to college. Okay. And getting hit with that harsh reality of not having support the way I had in grade school. Yes. Not having teachers on my back saying like, you need to turn this in. I get to go when I want to go. Right. I ain't going in. Like, what you mean? Yeah. Right. But that's facts. It's one of the loneliest experiences that a black person can face if you come from an area of poverty or, you didn't have anyone that went to college. Yeah. When you go there, you go in that classroom, nobody looks anything like you. Okay. Nobody's listening to you don't hear any of the music you listen to. The body language, all of it is different. And you like, yo, I never knew this place existed. Right. Like, this is where am I at? It was a little bit painful for me. I remember my main thought was, I don't even care what the teacher is saying. I just want to get out of here and go back home. Yeah. Because, coming from an environment where, people don't talk to you about your feelings and your emotions or your game plan, I had none of that. So I freshly jumped out of depression and fear and lack of identity into college, thinking that's where I'm going to find myself. That's where I found out I didn't like myself. Okay. And there was nothing that I could grasp onto to pull me out of that until I had that moment where I had to just dig deep inside of myself and say, I'm in a new environment. I want to discover different parts of myself. Right. I have to really let that go. Like you had said, with forgiveness. Holding on to things and people that I never forgave, waiting for closure and waiting for that moment. So I'm like, once I get that moment, I can move forward. Until then, I can't. Yeah. I had to let all of those moments and feelings just go so I could find a new way to exist in the environment. And it was helpful for me. That when you don't have anybody to counsel you or nobody to look out after you. No template. No blueprint. No game plan laid out for you. It's like I have to become my own counselor. Yep. You gotta become everything for yourself. Yeah, I gotta wipe my own tears. Yeah. I gotta fix my own car, pick up skills. But it helps with growth, though. It helps with growth knowing that you have to do that, and that's what's up. So you basically saying college, your transition to college, kind of you died inside, had to become this new person. Yes, that was the flip right there. Okay, that was your switch.
There was a few flips.
Okay, give me your one. We're gonna go to the first one next.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this first one. That's why I'm like, I don't know which one.
Yeah, we're going to relationship right next.
So the first one was I'm the oldest of 10.
Okay.
And just like you, there's this pressure on you. I didn't really realize it subconsciously because I always did what Tanee wanted to do. But at the same time, I always wanted to set an example for my siblings and for my parents. So I thought doing it the right way. So I went to, high school, graduated, always had good grades.
Right.
They say go to college. So fresh out, I went to, community college for a little bit. Cool. Then I moved away. That was the pivotal moment for me, was getting up out of my comfortable environment, getting out of Columbus, Ohio. So I was in school. I moved to Cincinnati. I went to art school. It was cool, whatever. Yeah. Didn't really take it serious. And then I moved to Atlanta. And when I got there, I went to school for a few months. And one day I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Yeah. And I realized that I didn't even want to be here. I didn't want to be here. So I realized that it was for my parents and it was for my siblings because I wanted them to do the right thing. Right. Not understanding at that point that you can only control yourself.
Exactly.
And so it took me maybe like a month or two to really get the courage to tell them, like, I don't want to go to school anymore. Okay. And I learned, and I'm so grateful that I made this decision because I would be in so much debt. So at the time, because it was art school, but I don't want to do interior design. I'm good at that, but that ain't no daggone career. Right. So I was like,
Nah, you good. You go ahead. You were saying like you didn't want to do art school.
Oh yeah. So I was like, so I applied. I took the skills that I learned, but I dropped out. I was like, hey, mom and dad, I'm done with this. Like, I'm just gonna work. And I worked for like the next 2 years. Yeah. And in that process, I went through. That's why I do. I've done every possible thing you can think of to become this person and be in this space now of like, oh, I know this or I know that. And one of the things that I always ask people is to discover themselves or help is, what is one thing that you would do for the rest of your life every single day, even if you didn't get paid for it? Okay. So asking them that question allows you to see not only or also writing down things that you're naturally gifted in and going from there. Right. And that is what I did. And that's how I discovered, oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. When you don't have an identity, like back in the day, yes, I sing now, but then I remember one person, all it takes is that one negative thought when you don't know who you are to say, you can't sing. I never sang again.
Broke you down, took your voice.
But I now know that my voice is my gift and it's my weapon. Yeah. And so now I don't care if you like my sound or not, because everybody ain't going to like what I bring to the table. But I know my audience. So as long as I'm doing what God is telling me and I'm being obedient to that, I'm going to reach the people, whether it's one person, whether it's a group of people. Yeah. And that's what started this real self-discovery. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I had to in order to get to this
because
point.
Those mistakes help you learn
what you
didn't know and help you be better for the next step. You know what I'm saying? So you mentioned one thing. You said that you had one no. Like, you had one person tell you, like, girl, you can't sing. So you stopped singing, right?
Done.
And that is so deep because you have so many people in your, that's what we're talking about. You have some people in your ear that make you lose track of where you're going, right? So when I think about it, if I was a kid, like if I go back when I was a kid and I was drawing and I was doing all these things that was very artsy, if I would have been still in that artsy bag and didn't care what like my dad thought or what other people thought, me being soft, doing all this artsy shit, I could be in my bag right now. Right. But it took me to have to find every other thing that wasn't me. Now, I'm not saying basketball wasn't me, but when I didn't reach where I wanted to reach, it was no longer me, right? So all these things that weren't me, I had to now find it at 24, 25, and 26 that my voice is what helps the people. I can entertain. I can make people laugh. I make people feel good through my voice, right? But if I would have found that out in high school, college, I could have been all the way set. A nigga could be in Cali right now. You feel me? Like, I could be on shows.
But it's all good. It's all good because you wouldn't be who you are if you didn't have it, and you had to go through that. And God already knew. He knew the end.
Okay, and that's what I had to learn. And I feel like we are always relearning ourselves through things, right? And one thing that we relearn ourselves through, y'all ready for it? Relationships, all right? Relationships, situations. We learn ourselves. We learn so much about ourselves if you allow yourself to. If you allow yourself to, you learn yourself, right? So, August Alsina again talked to Angela, and they, he gave the tea, y'all. He said he been messing with Jada, you know what I'm saying? He said that Will gave him his wishes to go mess with Jada. Jada, I still think it's a scheme, but we're going to talk about it. I don't give a fuck, right? So I think they just he trying to get his album sales, and she trying to do what she do at Red Table Talk because of the quarantine. Girl, you ain't slick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But since we on topic, you feel me? He said that he consumed so much of himself with his relationship with Jada that, not that he didn't know himself, but he just consumed so much that when it didn't work, he again had to find himself. He went through so much mentally, having to adjust again, having to do those growing pains again after not working with Jada or whatever the case was. Have you guys been in that situation where you've given yourself so much to a relationship that you've lost who you were, or it's taking you off your journey?
For sure.
Okay. Give us an
many
example.
times.
Oh, many times. Okay.
Plenty.
Give me one that you think was really fundamental or very just knocks you all the way off your path.
The first relationship that I would call a relationship.
Okay.
My first love.
Mm-hmm.
We were young, met him at 15, and we grew up together.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't know who I was. And so for me, because I love people so much and it was so organic, it started as a friendship first. When situations like that happen, it's like, oh, because they're my friend, they'll never do this to me.
Absolutely.
But that ain't true. It don't matter.
Find out a whole different story as time goes on.
And so there was and at this time was when Instagram first became pop and all this stuff. So everything is being publicized, broadcasted. And I'm looking stupid. Because it ain't just me. I'm not the only one. So I post stuff and then, oh, you was such and such, and Vine was popping and all that.
Okay.
So it was so embarrassing, and it would just keep eating at me to where I was so insecure. And even though he was doing things, you're crazy, you're this, you're that, to justify what he's doing, he taking it to the grave. Yeah. Even though I have the proof.
You had the facts.
Yeah. And it was just like, well, dang, well, maybe I am crazy, or dang, maybe I am tripping, or dang, da-da-da-da, whoop-de-woo. And that is why it's so important for us as people to have our fathers in our life. Yes, moms play great roles, but fathers are supposed to instill that identity into us. And I've always had my father, but due to an unfortunate situation at a young age, like when I first met you, my aunt passed away. Okay. I'm the oldest. Right. At the time that my aunt passed away, my dad was getting a divorce. Okay. My aunt left behind 4 children. Got you. The youngest was 2 weeks old. The oldest was 10. Yeah. I became stepmom. I already was growing up quickly, and I already thought I was grown, but I had to grow up even more because it was just me and my dad. We had to thug it out. And so because all of his attention was on that, because now that is the...
that's what he has to do.
Yeah, that's what's important. Duty. That's a duty, And even though I understood that, I thought I understood it, but I only understood it a little bit. So I used that to my advantage to get away with stuff and do stuff, because with my dad, he gave me structure. Yep. My mom was more lenient, and I lived with my mom the first half and then the second half with my dad. And so when he got a divorce and all this stuff, I was just like, woo, like I could do me. Yeah, I'm about to kick it. So I would always have the youngest with me. Like that was my son growing up. But I would just do so many things. Like my thing was, if I can get away with it, I'm going to do it. Right. And so he think I'm at my best friend's, but I'm all the way catching the number 1 from out east to up north on Cleveland Avenue, in these streets. Right, in these streets. Like, bro. And that's just what it was. And it became a norm that, and my dad, like, we have a great relationship now. I understand that he did the best that he could. But then as a child, he wasn't always the best listener. Right. And not only that, my mom, due to a tainted viewpoint of how she thought he treated her, when I know now he meant well. Yeah. She put fear in me, in a sense, not to push me away from my dad, but just because of her experience. Right. And it made me not talk to him anymore, not utilize him. So if I had gone to my dad for advice about men, I would have avoided a lot of situations. But because I already, we put these... that picture. Yeah, you paint that picture before you even ask or do anything, and you just assume that that's how it's going to be. And so I have no regrets, because I know everything, God has used everything, every bad thing, and turned it into good. Man. But that is what really made me be in that situation, because that identity wasn't instilled in me. It wasn't emphasized, because again, the importance was no longer on me. it was on the kids.
That's deep. That's super. Wow. That's
really
deep. Yeah. I mean, and even to your point, me being the oldest, I think that there wasn't attention on me all the time. But it was just found upon like, dude, you gotta do this. You are going to do this. So I didn't need
Like you were forced.
Right. I didn't need the eyes because I knew in my head, like, I have to do these things right. You know what I'm saying? So like you said,
perfect. Try to be perfect.
You could get away with shit at that time, but for me, I didn't really need that attention because I just knew what path I was gonna go on. You know what I'm saying? So with you, in a relationship,
listen,
when do you feel like you've lost yourself in any of your relationships?
So what you were saying about men being present, especially for young girls, because I mentor some young girls, and there's one young girl in particular that I make sure I always make time for. Reason being is, as I just sit back and think about it, you know, even if you do have your mother and father, your mother is a person that hugs you and you're crying, that nurturing, the person that clothes you, feeds you, you know, teaches you how to talk. You know, young boys have access to women from birth.
Absolutely.
Young girls don't have access to men like that, even at birth or later in life.
And a lot of dads is like tough love. And that was me.
Process. That's such a serious process. And seeing like other young girls talking about as they get older, well, you know, I want to get married and have kids. And when I hear them say that, it makes me think about my dating life and some of the experiences I had with women that have been married. When they got married when they were young, that did have children. Right. And I am not saying I'm perfect, but sometimes you cross paths with people that have had bad experiences, and it's difficult for them to be comfortable.
Yeah,
it's difficult for them to trust. Yeah. And you know, when I cross paths with that, it just throws my mind off because I'm like, dang, okay, maybe I can change.
I'm trying
this.
to do you right.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I should change this. Okay, did I say that? Or maybe I should change the way I said that. But I start losing myself in the process because I'm not sure if I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing right, if I'm caring, if I'm not caring, if I'm present the way that, you know, are they saying things to me because of what they've been through, and they're like, I'm going to test and see if when this does happen, how you're going to respond.
Oh, for sure.
That's why I thought it was so important when we talk about relationships and you talk about trying to find yourself and are you your best self for them or for you. Yeah. A lot of us are getting in relationships and situations trying to be the best for that person. That's bad. And you should be whole and the best for you. Bad. And then you get into the relationship. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are going in, we say we know ourselves, but like we just said, we found ourselves multiple times in this journey, right? And we're still fairly young. We don't know ourselves. And that's okay to admit. But when you get into these relationships with these people who they don't know themselves either. So now we just both dealing with two toxic ass motherfuckers trying to figure it out. Okay?
Functional.
We just both confused as fuck at this point. But in that though, like you said you've dealt with women who have came with this bitterness, with this hurt. We bring hurt into other situations.
Hurt people.
Hurt people. But we bring this hurt in their situations because we don't know ourselves. We don't even know. I don't even know why that hurt me. I don't even know why that comment that you just said hurt me. But it hurt me so bad because the last nigga that just said it to me had me fucked up. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right. But if we're able to know ourselves, we're able to be like, okay, that hurt me because when I was 6, my mom said this. He said it, and now you said it again. Exactly. Yep. But I knew myself able to do that. Right. So when we talk about that, what are some? You gotta give some help to the people. What are some things even before hopping into a relationship? We gotta know ourselves. What are some things or some like flags to know that maybe it's you and not them? Ooh. Maybe it is you. What are some things that they can see? What are some things that they can kind of gauge in this person that maybe it's you? Maybe you need to work on yourself. What are some things that might happen that they need to work on themselves? What can y'all tell them about like stepping into a relationship, right? And not completely knowing yourself. What are some things to maybe kind of look at when going into that situation?
Not looking to them for your identity.
Damn. Okay.
Not looking for them to fill voids that you haven't filled yet. Because no person on this earth, no thing, no career can fill a void. Like only,
a lot of us have voids too.
Yeah, so a lot of us. And if you've never dealt with them, then you're always going to be looking for them to complete you. You're not looking for a person to complete you. It should be a hole and a hole, and y'all come together as one.
Yes. Break it down.
So
break it down.
That's what I got.
That was good, okay? A hole and coming together. What you think, bro?
Man, I would say that something that you have to, it should be comfortable for you. as you're getting to know somebody, if you're feeling uncomfortable, uncertain, the things they're saying, you getting a bad vibe, it's disrespectful for yourself to continue.
That's settling.
Person.
Yeah.
Do not ignore
and I feel like a lot of us are out
you
here
don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself in a position where you continue to entertain another person if you're harming yourself, because they may not even be aware of what you're feeling.
That's true.
If you're giving them a facade or an image of yourself that you don't even like,
right?
Just because let me see what happens next. Let me see what happened next. If you don't feel good about what's going on and where it's going, you got to be honest and say, this is what I'm feeling, or I can't go forward with this because something bad's going to happen.
Absolutely.
People can sense that too. Like, I didn't understand this when I was going through it, but how you carry yourself, people can see that. Like, they may not know themselves, but they can sense that. They can see that energy. And so now, like, I used to wonder in the past, like, dang, why so many busters like keep approaching me?
Because you a buster. Okay, you present yourself as a buster. Yeah.
They know that, so they know what they can get away with, and it's like, now I carry my
oh look,
exactly. So now
she's dealing with some stuff. Okay.
Right. Let me come on in and mess it up.
Let me be her hero.
Yeah. So now I walk with such a confidence that don't nobody approach me if you ain't talking about nothing. You already know, like you already know. I'm not gonna give you the time of day. But then because I gave myself away so freely, and I don't mean that in just opposite sex relationships, I mean that with friendship. Like, I was so easily accessible that people could just do everything. Like, I've always been, we've all done stuff, made mistakes, but I've always been loyal, and I've always been a friend and 100 with people, always off rip. And so I thought, because I'm doing it, I'm gonna get the same in return.
Exactly.
False.
Yeah.
False.
And that's what I think. One thing, if I was to give one thing, when you step into relationships and really not knowing your identity and kind of trying to figure out theirs, quit looking for stuff in people. You know what I'm saying? Quit going in with a whole book.
Right.
For you to love me, you gotta wear blue shoes or blue hair.
This cologne, this perfume,
like that. You know what I'm saying? Let the love find you, because it will.
Yeah, like you said, let it flow.
Let it flow.
Don't force it. Forcing, not flowing. I mean, flowing, not forcing.
There we go. But let it flow. You know what I'm saying? We coming in with so much. But at the same time, even when you're in a relationship, that's another thing. Even when you're in a relationship, you learn new things about yourself.
You do.
You learn new things about self-care. You learn new things about your love language, about everything. You know what I'm saying? So allowing yourself to make those changes and adjust, but quit trying to go into it looking for a certain thing. Right. Like, I need this at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Are you bringing it to the table? Don't be asking for stuff that you're not bringing. That used to be me. Like, you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't even cook. Right. What are you talking about? You want to be wine and dine, but you expect me to be like, no.
I need a woman that cook and clean, bro. You don't have a house.
Right. You're filthy. Trifling.
What are you talking about, bro? She ain't cooking clean. She ain't all clean. Like, where's your kingdom, bro? No, like, come on, make sense for me.
Like, who are you? No, literally, who are you?
Ain't adding up.
And this is actually a good little segue to Temp Check. So today we talking about a 2003 movie, Love Don't Cost a Thing. So y'all, we in Temp Check. We talking about Love Don't Cost a Thing. So let me paint a picture for y'all. We have Alvin and we have Paris. Paris is the popular chick, you know what I'm saying, wearing crop tops and everything. She dated an NBA player at the time. Alvin is a nerd. He's very smart. He has a lot of these skills that he had a lot of skills growing up. You feel me? He can repair cars. He had a crew of friends. You know what I'm saying? He was very smart. Clean. He could clean pools. Yeah. He was smart, right? All these skills. Yep. But Alvin wanted to be popular. So Paris wrecked her car. Alvin said, I'll pay for your car out of my money for my scholarship. Like, he was trying to go off to school, right? He had a future, a journey, right? Right. I'll pay for your repair and do it for you to be my girlfriend, for you to make me popular. Again, we're going to trying to learn ourselves. He don't know himself, right? So in that process, though, Paris, he was trying to find himself through trying to be cool. And actually, at the end, he found out, like, okay, that life really wasn't for me. Right. The person I was who I am. Right. Period. And through the journey, it was so crazy to see in the movie that she found herself as well through trying to help him be cool, trying to help him find somebody else or find another identity. She found herself and she was like, the person that I am, I really don't want to be here either. Right. So I want to ask y'all, was Alvin, so we go back to the end of the movie, was Alvin wrong for switching up on Paris after their deal? Was he wrong? So you remember when they was on the hill, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, She was actually looking for him to be
At the
like,
beach.
let's really,
Yeah.
she was like really asking like, okay, when they went out to dinner and she was asking like, okay, what's next type thing. And basically he was just like, he thinking, okay, the deal's over. We're going to break up tomorrow morning. She thinking we're going to be together. Was he wrong for kind of like completely switching up on her?
No, because that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people get divorced and stuff like that because they never knew themselves. So when you help me, like you did your part. You helped me get to this point.
Exactly.
I don't need you no more.
Exactly.
So I would say no.
Okay, you would say no.
I would say no because, I mean, both of y'all shouldn't have done that. But
Right.
sorry, sis. Like you knew what the deal was,
Right.
but you got caught up.
Yeah, you got caught up.
Because
for
you
sure.
spent, like, when you around a person for a long
that
time, you're going to
time.
catch feelings and stuff like that and be in this
Absolutely.
whole facade a lot of times. And then you wake up one day like, dang, they don't even care about me. What was I doing?
What you
I
think?
say nah, because neither one of them knew who they were
Okay.
in that moment.
In that moment,
Because
in that
they
season,
they both were in the process. Okay, like this is what I'm gonna do next for
Yep.
everybody else around us.
Right.
For everybody else around
yeah.
us, but when they were by themselves, they didn't have that moment. But when they had it, they had to face each other and be honest about where they were. And he was like, "Well, it's over with." And she like, "Wait, no, hold on, bro,
Buddy, we was on
with?
You remember?
like, where you going?"
I learned you, you learned me. What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
But quickly, she needed that moment.
She did.
So she
To
could
humble
see
her.
like, oh,
Yep.
And
I
see
ain't
her
that bitch.
worth.
yeah.
Yep.
She like, dang. As much as I did get all this attention, somebody was able to say no to me, and it was the last person I thought would say no.
Humbled the fuck out of her.
At
you know
the
what I'm
head,
saying?
like
Humble. Even so
many
I was gonna
levels,
ask y'all
man.
about that too. Even when his friends came and picked up the car because they were tired of basically being his flunk. Like he got
His
not
posse.
famous. Yeah, his posse. He got famous. He got popular and kind of stopped really being who he was for them. And now they were lost. Do y'all think he was wrong for that as well? He switched up on Paris, but he really switched up on his core group of people who were down for him, who actually knew who he was, who seen his identity and knew he was somebody important.
From
Do y'all
jump.
think from jump? Do y'all think that he was wrong for switching up on them?
Yes. I would say yes and no.
Okay.
Because you don't owe nobody anything.
I like
And a
that.
lot
I
of
like
times
that. I
people
like
have
that.
this sense of entitlement
Yep.
because of the history.
Yep.
If I outgrow somebody, I'm out. And if you're not, like, you don't have to be doing what I'm doing, but if you're not headed in the same direction, if we don't share the same core values, at this point you're keeping me where I'm at. You're hindering my growth. And so I don't know if that was the case for him, but that's been my personal experience sometimes. And people, like, they don't understand. But what you fail to understand is my boundaries ain't for you. They're for me. And I'm not here to please you. I'm here to put myself first. And if I'm over here pleasing you the whole time, then I'm never going to make it to where God has called me to be.
Tanee. Jesus. All right, go ahead.
I would say I'm kind of like on the fence with it.
Okay.
I'm a little bit on the fence with it because I agree with you. And for his friends, if their identity is so connected to who he is and what he's doing, they don't know themselves. So no matter what he was doing,
Right.
when he's not around them, they're wondering, man, where is he at? What's
Right.
he doing?
Right.
Why you ain't here with us? So they were kind of attached
Because
to
even
who
when he
was.
was
Exactly.
a quote unquote cornball,
Yeah.
Right.
it was the same thing.
It was the same damn thing.
It was the same thing. It was.
And
It was.
that's why I'm like, but on the other end, I'm like, yo, he's not really wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's discovering himself regardless of what it is, his scholarship.
sure.
The girl, he was brave enough to say, I'm taking that next step.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to stay where I'm at.
Right.
They should have followed suit and be like, all right, you doing
Or
your
respected
thing.
it.
Or
You don't have
respected
to.
it.
You don't have to shit on them.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But be honest.
For
Right.
sure.
And if you letting them know, I mean, hopefully y'all respect it or understand one day. But I can't wait around and wait for you to do that.
Yeah,
I got to move
friendships-
forward.
Facts.
Friendships ain't obligations.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to do this for me.
Yeah,
You don't
no.
have to be present.
And I think that we feel like because of our friends, you have to do that. You
Right.
you have to do it. It's on the line. Like you're my
Yeah.
friend, you're going to do these things. And I think that was a really good question to ask y'all about the friends because, like you said, his friends also were trying to find their identity through him. And so he was still at the top of the umbrella when it's like, you can be your own umbrella out here, all right? When you're trying to find yourself, find you before you find them, she, he, find you.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it's a walk in the park, because I think we really relearn who we are at all times. It could be day by day you're learning who
For
you
sure.
are.
It's
You're
a
learning what you like.
constant.
You're learning what you no longer like.
Right.
So
Right.
definitely put in that work to do it. And thank y'all so much for coming on, bro.
No
like,
problem.
y'all did so good.
It was an honor.
You feel me? Y'all dropped God. Y'all dropped Jesus. Y'all dropped all these gems for the people. And I really appreciate y'all for coming on. So I'm going to hand y'all these pins. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't you? We're professional over here.
For sure.
But before we cut it off, I want y'all to plug yourself. So tonight you already plugged yourself, but plug yourself again. Where can they find you? What do you do? Let them know. Recap it for them.
All right. So like I said before,
Yes.
I wear many hats. By day, I'm a child care teacher. But by nature, I am an entertainer. So my goal, my mission is to inspire, uplift, and encourage every single person by loving them, sharing my testimonies, and just keeping it 100. Like, I'm never going to sugarcoat anything.
Right.
I'm going to share what I've been through to help other people. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tanee Monique. That's TANEEMONIQUE.
Yeah, you got it. I wish you. All right, Donte.
Yeah, so I, like I said, I do a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Community, videography, photography,
Yeah.
mentorship, whatever you want to name.
All of that.
All of it. So you can find me on Facebook and my website at Donte Woods Spikes. That's DonteWoods
Okay.
-SPIKES.
Okay.
And on Instagram and Twitter, that's Dante's Eyes, DonteSeYes.
Yep. Okay. Good shit.
Yeah,
Good
man.
shit.
Yeah, man.
And y'all can follow me, Prescribe with the Realest, all right, on
Definitely.
Twitter. Please get my followers up, y'all. Prescribe DR on Twitter, and on IG, Prescribe DR_A. Follow them for me, please. Shout them out. Give them some love. Show them some love. Hit them up in their DMs and let them know that what they said to you resonated, all right? So this is Prescribe with the Realest, where we say the things your friends won't say and your man gonna lie about, and we're out.